I've never done a podcast on camera. This is so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you stand up and tell jokes in front of people now for, I'm not going to say for a living,
But far from it,
for,
actually.
for your own enjoyment or entertainment.
$60 maybe. Don't tell the IRS.
Yeah. $60 don't tell the IRS, and that's on a good night, right?
Yeah. Do you get it?
No, that's total. That's lifetime.
Yeah, well, what do you do with the drink tickets? Since you don't drink.
Heineken Zero. But I don't get drink tickets yet. I'm not even that good.
Yeah.
Wait, do bars have Heineken Zero?
Yeah, DC has a lot of fake beer now. I can't drink for many reasons, and so I can drink fake beer, and I crush it.
Yeah.
Shad, it's been worse since you.
It's gotten worse. So
Shad and I used to drink a lot.
I feel like every
of
time I
fake beer.
see a picture of you, you've got a Heineken in your hand.
Well, that was because I was cutting videos with it to like make fun of the.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
So
but
when
it's
I
become
was
a part of your
I need to stop looking
personality,
at the camera.
Joe.
when I was off, well, it's fine. You can to make a point. You can.
Well,
you can
I want to look.
camera.
I want to make sure it's a picture of me looking lovingly at Shad.
Yeah.
And then a picture of, like me and Dylan like really in conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Really just talking about the issues.
like
over
Dylan, there's two of them, right? But one hangs lower, and it hurts.
here. It's true.
That's
true.
what it's like being in a new relationship.
Yeah.
So
true facts.
I when I was off of alcohol and you were off of alcohol at the same time, we drank a lot of near beer,
Yeah.
and it sucks, but it's you honestly do kind of it gets you the same.
There's
hit.
some good ones now too. Brewdog has. Let's do some ad reads. Brewdog has great IPAs. Like my dad tried one. He's a beer snob, and he's like, "This is pretty good."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Whoa! I think I just saved my dad."
Saved your
He's not
dad,
an alcoholic. He's fine.
Yeah.
It's on my mom's side.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. That being said, I got to ask a clarifying question then. So you do it. Why do you do it? Right? Because personally, beer tastes okay to me. Right?
Oh,
In comparison to
that's
other beverages. What about beer can you enjoy outside of the alcoholic factor?
Well, I got to be careful what words I say because I do think this podcast is high profile. And so I don't want to make fun of groups that I'm not a member of, but it's a numbers thing. Like I love finishing containers. Like I can't explain it.
I get
I
that.
have to.
Yeah.
So like when I would drink, I would like have a 6-pack. I'd be like, I'm gonna say this for like Tuesday. I'll go out, share it with people, and then Monday morning would roll around and it'd be empty.
Yeah.
And I had bought it Sunday.
Yeah.
You ever been hungover on a Monday morning? And the only person at your party was you? That was one of my first like things I used to say.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, dude. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before on the pod, but I have this tendency of if I have a beverage in my hand, any kind of bevy, so we're talking like water,
Yeah.
or if I am at a space and I'm talking to people, I have to have one in my hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I have to drink it as a way to, add a little bit of a buffer zone when there's like a silent beat in conversation and I'm feeling a little nervous. You take a drink. Yeah. To denote that I am listening and we have moved on to the next section, and it's sort of a crutch in that
I think
way.
the important thing actually though that Joe said is the completionist angle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is how I view beverages. Right. Becca's
Yeah.
constantly like, how the hell did you drink that so fast? How the hell did you eat that so fast?
Yeah.
And I just do, right? And so, if there's
100%.
if there's a
Yeah.
position where you're like, oh,
100% run.
100% run.
Like we would add the drinks up, so like 5, 10, 15%.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I just had liquor. Okay, I'm at 35%. I mean, 75%.
Yeah.
Got to get all the way there.
Yeah.
a true Jedi.
And the thing was, we're lucky because in Washington there was a point where I got really sick, and then Joe stopped drinking as well, and we were there for each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when we were living
Oh,
together,
cute.
I was too broke to drink anyway. So
Yeah, that was good. Sorry, my girls are going crazy right now. I'm going to silence my phone. By girls, I mean the Reds are losing 10-5. I care about baseball now. That's a whale.
Wow. Jeez. That's unfortunate.
all right,
one.
whale, boom, one whale.
One
All right,
whale.
let's do a
Get a
count.
whale. Get a whale counter.
Yeah.
In the corner there. Yeah, we got a lot of whales going on. Joe Pappalardo, the king of whales, I think. When we invented this show, when we were in the basement thinking about this, because we were in this basement when we thought about it.
It's true.
Joe was one of the first guys I was like, Joe would be great for this.
Yeah.
Joe loves to get obsessed with something, and I brought up The Sopranos,
I'm going to be here every month.
Yeah. Dude, I wish, dude.
Yeah, if only you could be here that often.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, I think it's important just because I don't know, it's a whale in the room, as it were, that you donate to the Patreon, right?
Yeah,
I think
I do.
everybody knows that,
Yeah.
right? We did not bring him on because he donated to the Patreon. Donating to the Patreon does not mean you will get on the show. Okay,
It'll help though.
It'll help.
You have to be incredibly mentally ill to get on this show.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, think about everybody we've had on the show.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yeah.
No, but because we had you on the list, it was the short list. We were like people we'd like on the show.
That means a lot.
Joe Pappalardo was there before we even started this thing, so I just wanted to clarify.
I know. So how was the drive? Did you drive? You fly?
I flew. Excuse me. I flew to Cincinnati and then I drove from Cincinnati here. I shouldn't have told people where I live, but
Hey, I mentioned what street I live on the other day. So
oh, dude,
saying that you live in Cincinnati is not much of a problem.
I keep telling him he's got to bleep it, but he says it's fine.
It's just a street.
dude,
There's a lot of streets.
I like.
Yeah, but they also know what city you live in, dude.
Shad knows I will talk for the whole thing, so I'm only going to say things when you ask for them, so that way I don't volunteer anything I shouldn't volunteer.
Yeah, you volunteer as much as you want. That's
But,
sort of the point of having you on. But
That's true. Yeah.
so real quick, okay, let's move on to some meat and potatoes here, specifically about comedy. We had Dean Sinclair on for the last episode, and Dean Sinclair said we mentioned that you were going to be on for the next episode. So Joe's going to be on the next episode. We were talking about Skyline Chili.
Yeah,
and he said, "Wow, that guy, he's funny now. Wasn't funny before. He's funny now." So
Yeah, no, that means a lot, and it's true. It's true. And you know how I know I'm funny now?
Yeah.
When's the last time I sent you a clip?
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
that's self-confidence right
That
there.
is self-confidence.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not looking for the Shad approval.
I don't need any of you.
Oh.
Oh man,
That's actually disheartening for me, Joe, because
Yeah.
I need you in my life.
I don't need you to laugh.
People
People are
don't
going to
need you to
see me
laugh,
tomorrow, and I'm doing stand up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where
and-
at?
Which sadly I can't be at. I'm devastated. I've got a meeting that goes from 8:30 to 9:40, so cannot do so. But I'll be there in spirit.
Who's opening for you? Who's the host?
I have no idea. Apparently, it might. I'm not going to say anything negative, but I don't know if it's going to go well. But everyone.
Don't worry. This is gonna come out after it's done. And you're long gone.
We'll
so.
insert the best clip from it right here.
I'm 26 years old, and I'm still a virgin.
Oh no.
And if nothing pops up, set went pretty bad.
So I was hungover the other day.
Yeah.
Well, people have already seen the jokes around here, and so I don't want them to not enjoy it because they've already seen everything. So I feel bad if they come and they've already seen it, because like I've been doing this like 7 months.
Yeah.
Which I can say now. It's pretty cool.
That is
7
fun.
months.
It's like when you
Wow.
start a new job, you're like, oh, 7 months in.
Yeah, there you go. I'm alive still.
But with Dean,
right?
Dean's my drum teacher, and
Yeah.
so I don't practice on him, but I just do bits on him sometimes. And especially with drums, it's fun because you can like use the drums to punctuate things.
accentuate what you're doing.
And he loves
That's
it.
what you got to be. You got to be the drummer comic, man.
No, I'm not Fred Armisen. I want to have healthy relationships with women. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Fred.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. I'm too good now.
Yeah, come in
We're
and
calling
hide.
shots. We're calling shots already.
Yeah.
You're not even headlining in DC, and you're already calling shots.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm redlining in DC.
So-
That's right.
what's the vibe like? I gotta know, like, what's the scene like? Will you have positive experiences so far? And
Yeah.
I'm sure that some people from the scene are watching right now, but
They
you know,
are.
Yeah.
First of all, guys, I love you. No, it's incredibly welcoming. Especially, knowing who we are. Like, I don't think this podcast is not like people know we like went to Hillsdale, And so that comes with some baggage, and you think that would be a bad thing in comedy. No one cares.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes that you like them and agree with them on everything,
Yeah.
which is really weird. Like, can't say that.
Wait for the Patreon, brother.
See, it's like you got to tiptoe over the lasers, but
Yeah.
people will complain about something that you clearly are a part of,
Yeah.
but then tell you how much they like you to your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they'll be posting about it online, like, oh, we got to stop this. And then
Yeah.
they're like, Joe, I really think you're great and amazing. I'm like, you literally are like, just tried to ruin me.
Yeah.
Like I have already been like,
What you're saying is that people are saying, "What's up with all these middling white guy comics?" Show up and have the confidence to do shows. Yeah.
I've nearly been destroyed like 3 times, and I'm barely started. And it's like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
really, girl? Like, are we really doing this right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and plus, it's like it's never people. Well, let's go all the way. It's never people that are going to make it anyway that do that to you.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't know.
Well,
Now they're watching.
Yeah. Well,
I said it.
That's a classic thing, though, is that people who are in a profession who don't have cred are the most likely to be aggressive.
They're dangerous.
And especially against those who they view as threats.
Yeah, and
right?
I am a huge threat. And I'm a threat. No, I am. Because let's go off now.
Yeah.
I did 100 sets in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
You're hustling.
You're doing the
brother.
Mark Norman method. You're like, this is a science.
No,
this
that's
is
the way you do
Seinfeld
it.
method.
Yeah.
Well, no,
we're gonna
not
make
like
it happen.
that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you need like that and that. You need to get as much stage time as possible. But I'm not like I'm not going to use there's the A word that we like to use. I'm not going to use it.
Alt? You're not gonna use alt?
No, not alt.
Okay.
It's like artistic. But I am that way about it.
Yeah.
Let's say artistic. I'm very artistic about my art.
Okay,
and,
yeah, I get that.
If you say it with an accent, actually, it sounds. I'm killing right now.
We use that word on this podcast.
I know, but I don't want to use it because I'm not a part of that group, right?
Yeah,
I am
of course
kind of.
not. Yeah,
I told someone that I like trains, and they're like, "Oh, so you're," and I'm like, "Don't say that." See,
You're
the
like,
key
yes,
there-
but
but I think in order to succeed at comedy in a very
Wow,
defined
went way
way,
off track. Yeah.
you do have to have a little bit of a level.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
Right.
See, I bleeped it. You see that?
Yeah.
So you have to do as much as you can. There are a lot of people that don't, and either they have a job or they literally just don't think they need to. I've met people who. Yeah. See, I keep twitching like there's like a demon in me that's.
well, so
Tell them how you feel.
So I'll speak for you on this.
Yeah.
They're the type who say, I'll only do the big shows, I'll only do the good gigs because I'm already coming as a complete package, right? And they're not willing to kind of work their material out on in playing the taco shops or the church functions, right?
See, a visual agreement is not the same as an audio agreement, right?
That's true. Yep. And that's why this is a video podcast, is so you have that buffer.
Hey, Mom.
So that you have that buffer. Hey, Mom.
No, yeah,
Hey,
that's
Mrs. Pappalardo.
I'm trying not to burp into the mic, guys. We just had pulled pork. It was amazing. It's really cool, and like people, yeah. And so that's one thing. And then another thing, like because I live with Shad, I was like this neurotic freak that lived with Shad for a long time.
It was
So
awesome. It was like having a pet goblin.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was very bad.
Yeah.
It was very bad. And so now I have so many things going on that I just don't have time to like be weird anymore. Like, so I can only really be weird on stage.
Yeah.
So like I don't like a great example is like I've started dating in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And when Joe says he's dating, it's usually like one person. So let's be honest, it's not like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, how am I going to make time for this person? And it wasn't about like, oh my gosh, like I'm so stressed out about this. Like it's a big event. It's like I have so many shows this week. Yeah. You get like an hour. I'm sorry. And
it's trust me, it's not my best hour of the week.
and it was so much more fun.
Yeah.
It's so much every experience now is like this is fantastic. Like I'm taking a week off to like be with my family, be with my friends, not get too choked up on a podcast. And it's like it's so good. And like I value it now where I didn't before everything had this, because anxious people, we build things up. Yeah. So that's the best thing. I have a friend who I'm going to razz him on this. His name's Matt. I love Matt. He's my co-producer on a show I'm starting this next week.
Nice.
Choir Boys?
Yeah, Choir Boys.
Yes.
It's Choir Boy comedy. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, wait, I gotta plug stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Freaking hit it, man. What venue are you guys doing on that?
It's Johnny Pistola's in DC.
Nice, dude.
We don't know if it's going to go further than 1 week because it's you have to bring about 100 people to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're going to get that, but we will.
Yeah.
We'll see. But Matt is stressed about it. Matt's been doing comedy way longer than me.
Yeah.
And he's stressed about it. And I'm thinking like, dude, I have 3 shows starting next week. I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Is the first show with a different co-producer on each.
Yeah.
Matt's on 2 of those with me. So one of them is a super group. Saturday, there's like 6 of us forming this super group.
Yeah.
Side note on that is everyone congratulates you when you get a show. All you have to do is ask a bar.
Yeah.
Like, don't congratulate me. It might not work out.
They're the ones that made the bad decision.
Yeah.
But comedy is also networking. So
Yeah.
you know, okay, I can do this. You got to suck a little dick, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going around DC wiping my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm frothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really, but people think I am, and that's fine. People also think I'm asking to get on shows. I'm not. All I do is I promote stuff on social media.
Yeah.
And then people see that and they're like, hey, do you want to be on mine? Because they know I'm going to market it. A lot of people don't know how to market. So they don't know how to market. They don't want to put in the work. And then they're not funny on top of that because they're doing stuff. They don't have friends like you guys who are like really mean. And so if something's not funny, I find out about it.
Yeah.
I find out really quick. And that's what's weird to me is I see people do bits that I might have said to you years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so even though I haven't been doing stand-up that long, I've already put in the work in terms of performance and like learning what sucks.
Well, so part of that is the alt scene, I think, and just its various reverberations, right? You're like, I'm not willing to do this. Right?
Yeah.
When you make the primary focus of your content gimmick and subversion, then the art form is drastically lost as far as what it is. The bare bones of it, right? The meat and taters of comedy. What are you looking at me for? Is my mic shaking?
I hear something shaking.
It's just shaking a little bit. It's okay. For some reason it's a little wobbly, but
right,
this is called lamp shading. It's when you bring up the problem so that people know that it's a problem.
You were tapping your mic, and we just talked about how I'm into the arts.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're triggering that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
overstimulated.
yeah.
Well, I wanted to
That was a killer mic lyric.
speak really quickly on. You were talking about how you get so busy that you no longer have the room to be anxious because you have so much that you have to do in the present moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like on your mind. Because I think anxiety, a lot of it comes from the potential future, right? You're like thinking about like, if I do X or if X happens, like it's all gonna fall apart, and you're constantly stressed about that. Recently, I fell into a much busier, sort of job description, and the downtime in the day has been reduced significantly, like by 90%, and I feel less stressed now in a weird way.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's like I do feel like a general stress, but I'm less anxious about what I'm doing because it has to get done, and I don't have time to think about being anxious.
So
it's weird.
I love this because like this table is like the most anxious people in
Yo.
this area.
Oh yeah, it's true.
For
So,
sure.
but the problem is,
It's like if we were forming like a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
we need to find 3 more like mentally ill.
yeah. Well, the problem is with me is that you guys probably are developing a much healthier relationship with anxiety. With all that I do is I put it into my muscular system.
Yeah.
And I'm tight, boys. Every one of my muscle systems is just clenched all of the time. Becca will my wife will just go to touch me and be like, your neck is it's like a steel rod. I'm like, I'm not working out. It's not my overhead presses. It's that's all anxiety.
All right, let's go to the studio audience. Let's play a game of Shad So Tight. How tight is he?
He's real tight.
Oh, okay.
Super
Well,
slow.
so this is
Super
why
slow on
audience
the uptake.
participation is always a crapshoot. Yeah.
It's a grab.
Have you done much Q&A stuff? How's your Q&A work?
Q&A, what do you mean?
As in like audience participation, people asking
I
your
hate
red. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, that way I cussed. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm a
It's
clean comic.
Yeah.
But I have a dirty mind.
So you don't
No,
do a lot of like.
Let's get really wild. Let's get
yeah.
really wild. Maybe people will watch this and learn something about comedy.
Yeah.
No one wants to answer a question if it's simply your premise. Like if you're like, anyone here got a dog? It's like, just tell me your joke about dogs, you idiot. You moron. Like someone gave me a great note. He said, sometimes you'll stumble at an open mic. You'll be like, I'm not doing a transition anyway.
Yeah.
Well, now you ruin the mood.
So just hit the joke.
Just do the joke because you're creating a spell. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, he's going to say something crazier and crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And that's how you build. Yeah.
Well, so that wasn't that like a kind of a gimmick for a while in the alt scene?
Yeah, a lot of alt stuff is
where
still
it's like,
in vogue.
you bring the set list on stage and you make a huge show out of using the set list.
Yeah,
and it's
whereas
like,
now you can do that at an open mic and people just know you're working on stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if you're really funny. They're like, oh my gosh, like turn to the next page.
Yeah.
Like I have a buddy who I'm going to see him in Columbus actually. His name's Winston Hodges. He has been doing it for
Shout out Winston Hodges.
Winston's been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah.
Like I think Winston's going to be big. He is performing at the Funny Bone in Columbus this Thursday.
Okay, cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
This is going to come out after it. But if it goes well, Winston can then perform at a lot of Funny Bones.
Yeah.
And
That can get big.
Winston goes out of his way to like talk to everyone that's new. He makes a point of like getting to know people. Like, he'll DM me like, hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah.
You were a little bright there when you heard that. You were like, you DM me.
Like, why? Like, you're 7 years in.
Yeah.
Like, I am trying to suck your dick. Get away from me. I'm like a succubus.
Yeah.
That's a demon for people that don't know. It gives you blowjobs. I'm sorry. We're going to keep going. I got one more thing on him because I want him to, if he hears this, I don't want him to be upset with me
Yeah.
for spilling too many beans. But where was I? Winston.
He reaches out to you. He
Reaches out to
messages
me.
you.
Yeah.
He's asking you how you're doing. He's trying to help you out.
Columbus, Funny Bone.
Yes. If it goes well, he goes to more Funny Bones. You got this, brother. I believe in you.
No, I don't remember what I was talking about, but we'll pretend I do.
Yeah.
But someone like that is going out of the way to like get to know you in the scene, and like that's very welcoming.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be that way. And so that's something that I'm taking an example from is like, oh, okay, like Winston is making time for me. He recognizes people that work hard and like he sees how crazy and artistic I am, and he's like, okay, this guy's got some problems. Let's work on that.
From what I've heard, that's primarily the great, like the same thing that would make somebody a good target for like sexual predation is the same thing that would make them a good comic.
Yes, sir.
You know
yes,
what
sir.
I mean? Where
yes,
it's
sir.
like, oh, you're unstable. You're from a bad, you're
Yes.
from a bad home. You
Yes.
you seem to kind of be.
I got
really,
it back.
Yeah, you're like,
The
oh,
comic came back. The thought that I had.
Yeah.
It was Winston brings his notebook on stage, and it's great because he has written so many great jokes.
Yeah.
And worked on them. And he can he did a thing where he's like pick a number, and I'm sure other people have done this, but and it 1 through 100, and any number you picked, it was a good joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Winston would say I'm being too nice, but
Yeah.
it was a joke that like an open micer would have made that their closer.
Yeah. I get
There's my type 5, and Winston's like, no, but he's really generous, and that's cool, and so he's made it cool to be like, he's showing you that he's working on this.
Yeah.
But the alt scene is like, gee, I have notes. Hey.
Yeah.
Shut up. The best thing I've done is I record with my phone, which is where I keep my notes. I don't write my notes.
Yeah.
I just have, because I'm so artistic. I keep
Yeah.
them in notes. I keep them in folders.
Yeah.
They're organized. And I look like I'm rapping. Like if you cut the audio, it's like I'm like Harry Mack in here. That guy does. Let's crap on him for a bit. He does stand up and tours he does comedy venues, but it's to do his improv rap routine. And I get it. You're paying tickets, but also stay away from the improv. Don't be in here.
Yeah, well, that's a classic move where somebody who's already kind of famous for something else it's like every movie star wants to be a musician.
Yeah.
And every musician wants to be a movie star.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes one of the things that happens, especially for people who have no other options, they're like, well, I could just say I'm doing a stand-up tour and start selling tickets, which is pretty consistent. And sometimes there's good ones. Like Henry Rollins does this, the old, like the lead singer to Black Flag, and he's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was going to go back to your music and movie star
Yeah.
comparison. Machine Gun Kelly was neither, and he became both. Nailed it. See, I'm quick. I'm quick.
What movies was Machine Gun Kelly?
He was in
Bird Box.
Really?
And Bird Box, I was like, he's definitely going to bang someone. That's the only reason he's in it. And immediately he banged someone. Like right after that, and I screamed.
He was,
and then he
wasn't
vanished.
he also in frickin' the new Jackass?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
that
was.
up.
Yeah, he was. But the Jackass movie, like that's
That's not
fun.
a movie.
They should have put Pete Davidson in it because he was in the Suicide Squad, the good one.
Yeah.
They killed him off in it. Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
I didn't know that, brother.
You'll watch it later.
Goodness. Yeah. Well.
My mom doesn't watch these. Don't worry. She tried listen. I had a podcast once. She didn't listen to it. She's
Well,
like,
so that's a pretty consistent thing, though.
Yeah.
The difference is that you're being showcased on something else, right?
I know,
So
this is
I'm sure
great.
my mom doesn't listen to every episode, right? And I'm sure that my wife has not listened to a single episode of a single thing I've done. I did 3 years of radio in college, and not a single episode. She refuses. So
Good.
you have that constant shield. You have that. You have that ability.
But if
So-
if you're being highlighted somewhere else, it's a little
Yeah.
bit more of a higher chance. Speaking of,
They're trying to get me to promote this to my mom. I'm not going to.
Dylan's desperately trying to segue.
please, the church group, they need to listen to this. Okay, so, brother, we bring you on here
For
we
your
have
whale.
one particular reason. It's because we're here to talk about your most recent monomaniacal obsession.
Oh, man.
We've gotten complaints that we don't explain what the show is about enough. That's what the show's about.
Here, let me do an ad read right now.
Yeah.
Monomaniacs is a podcast about men with obsessions. There hasn't been a single woman on here
Yes, there
except for
has.
Jane.
Yeah. She's a woman. What are you talking about?
Except for
Jane just became an honorary man. Now, back to my main point. It's only men on this podcast because men are weird.
Artists.
See, sometimes you start telling jokes and you realize they're not going to work while you're on stage, and then you have to go in the crowd work. So, what do we think Monomaniacs is?
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't you dare talk.
Don't heckle.
It's
them, dude.
no, really. It's about like people get obsessed with things, and especially me. Like you'll have like a flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Like this month is Sopranos. Next month is doing push-ups with a weighted vest.
Yeah.
The next month is running through the city with a weighted vest on, acting out things you saw in The Sopranos. That was the third part was too long. I could have trimmed that.
All right, he's working.
He's working.
This is, you're watching a pro. A star is born.
Yeah.
Right. This is Lady Gaga.
He is taking the whole pig right now and just slicing it up for us.
That's
to
a kill.
eat, dude.
I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
I was gonna say There Will Be Blood, but no,
That
Gangs
movie
of
sucks, by the way.
There were some cool sex scenes in it.
Yeah.
Mom, I didn't watch that. So now I can just keep doing callbacks to Mom. No, it's not laughing, but you keep doing it. This is the worst part. Comics will keep doing jokes that clearly don't work.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Well, no, it's because repetition itself can be comical, so you can use it as a crutch.
No,
to
No, he's
make
talking about
something work.
different sets.
Different sets.
okay.
Like, buddy, it's been 6 months. You're still talking about something that no one can relate
Whoa,
to.
whoa.
Kill yourself.
Well,
Do it. Kill yourself.
So here's the-
Make it easier for me to get on stage. Remove yourself from my lineup.
Comedy's a ladder. Comedy's a ladder. Look,
I'm gonna climb.
so here's the thing, though, is Wait. Is the best set the set that has ups and downs, or is the best set the set that's just back-to-back bangers?
I want people to scream my name. No, I don't. I actually, my favorite thing, and I think all comics can relate to this, is going into a place where no one knows you and just blowing it up. Like, it's so much fun. Like, I did a thing for a school fundraiser, and I was like, this isn't going to work. It was like 200 people. It was going to be 300, and I was using that number originally, but it was only 200, so let's be honest. But
see, what is this podcast about if not just being honest with ourselves and listeners?
They loved it. They ate it up. They ate it up, and I was like, holy crap. Like, they started clapping during one of my jokes. I'm used to just finishing the joke. I didn't get to finish it because they were clapping.
You threw it.
And then I finished it after they were done clapping, and they were still laughing. I was like, I'm like Chris Rock. Nailed it. Because he kept going. It's because he kept telling jokes. We're not talking about the other stuff. It's because he kept telling jokes, got laughs. That's
Real
a professional.
Quick, this came up in my mind. Has Will Smith done comedy tours?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought I heard that once. He did stand-up before. I want you to double-check that.
I thought you meant, I totally Mandela affected. I thought you said, has Chris Rock done stand-up since?
No, sorry. I meant,
he has.
Has Will Smith done stand-up before?
I hope not.
Because I thought I've heard that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I doubt that.
I mean, everyone tries it. T.I. is having a rough go of it right now. That's okay. But we were talking about what my whale is. I don't actually know. I mean, stand-up is kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
I have been I was modding Elder Scrolls games a while back, but that's an old one.
I was in that for a time.
Yeah, if you need help, I know.
He's got a good mod list. He sent me the mod list for Morrowind. I just don't have the time, dude.
I can do it for you right now.
No, I mean, like, not to mod it. I can mod it. Yeah, that's like
Morrowind takes forever. Yeah,
I don't have the time to play Morrowind.
Yeah.
I'm in the freaking industry, and I don't have enough time to play games anymore, dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't have time to play them, and I keep buying them.
Yeah.
Because they keep going on sale. I'm buying keys off of, third-party sites. It's awesome.
The G2A.
Like not G2A. Don't worry. I'm buying it off of, Green Man Gaming.
And,
Fanatical.
Yeah, Fanatical.
Don't worry.
We sell keys through Fanatical.
I bought a key off of G2A once, but I was also able to get it from a real seller, and so I deleted the G2A one.
Yeah.
It was Battlefield 4. Who cares?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't care.
Don't give Dice any more money.
Dice.
Dude.
Will Smith did not do comedy until 3 years ago when he opened a set for Dave Chappelle.
He opened
Will Smith opened for Dave Chappelle and later slapped Chris Rock. He has no fear.
Yeah, that's true.
Now it's funny.
He also has no friends. Yeah, I know. It's funny.
It's crossed over. No, I think
the best is at the after party.
But
he was dancing at the after party as though it didn't happen, and I'm like, this guy is clearly just unstable. Give him a break.
He is.
I love him. Anyway,
he is a Hollywood elite through and through.
Yeah.
Does not have
anyway,
any
back
true
to me and my whales. One of the things I've noticed about having whales is people bring on podcasts to talk about them.
Yeah.
But then you can't actually articulate what your whale is because the guy you used to live with and used as a therapist is now married and lives with someone else. Let's go to crowd work. Can I just ask you questions? What are your whales?
Yeah, sure. Go
My
ahead.
wales are really just being obsessed with you.
Yeah. What was? Did you? Real quick, actually, I have a question about that. So, is Jake officially moved out? He's living with Scott now, right? So it's just you in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake sent me a message and he was like, he'd listened to the Brandt episode and he was like, I don't understand how Chris McCaffrey, who is a good friend of ours and lives with Joe Pappalardo, upstairs. Joe's in the basement. I don't understand how two so diametrically opposed culinary minds can survive in the same place. Chris McCaffrey is a gourmand.
Yes.
He is a beautiful cook. And Jake was like, last time I was there, when I left, all that was in the fridge was Heineken Zeros and canned espresso. And Joe would come home from doing a set and crack open both at the same time, take a drink, make some protein waffles, and then,
Okay, first of all, I don't drink caffeine after 3 p.m. because it makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Unless you want that. If you're into that, call me.
Yeah.
Don't call
the number.
me.
It's called the number below, right?
I used to yell my phone number out during. No, that was one time.
Yeah.
On stage.
Did that
this
go
girl
well for
asked
you?
me to. I wouldn't finish it each time I said it, and one time a woman yelled out, "What's the rest of the number?" And I was like, "Dang, time to pay the piper."
Yeah.
I shouldn't. My peas are popping.
No, you're fine actually.
So
it's all good.
The pee filter is fine.
Pee filter.
God damn it. Okay.
Whales.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about culinary
Yeah. So
situation.
I appreciate good food. I love good food.
Yeah.
If you cook for me, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But I have no time.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. And why have good experiences when you can go out there
Also,
and work?
protein waffles are really good. So shut up. Jake. They're so good. They're so
I
quick.
think we got to actually clear the air on the culinary story
Yeah.
from the Brain episode.
Yes.
Because I hear that you have differing opinions on exactly what happened.
No. I was messing with Shad. I just wanted to text Shad something angry to freak him out. So right after I heard the episode, I texted Shad something like a very specific, like I think it was I said,
You didn't put the broccoli into the rice cooker.
Yeah.
and I said something explicit
Yeah.
before that. But it's funny because I did do that once, and that's a great story. So in comedy, you would not tell people it only happened one time. You just say he did this,
Yes.
and that's way funnier.
Yeah.
Like my grandma's last words were not "tell me a joke,"
Yeah.
but when I tell that story, that's her last words because. People love it when you kill grandma on stage. I was going to do it in front of my parents saw me do stand up for the first time this weekend.
Yeah.
And they're impressed. The best part about that actually is my mom, who's always been like, I'm not sure about the stand up thing. She immediately gave me notes. So like
That's a classic mom move.
she is
for sure.
in. My mom's a killer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't tell the government.
Well, they're just trying to angle for the late night seats, like when
There you go,
if you ever do blow up, they they want to be able to meet all the famous people.
I think she wants me to marry a woman though.
Yeah.
That was a
Probably-
dark joke, but that was good. That was a
Yes.
really good joke. It wasn't inappropriate.
Yeah. No, I
you
agree.
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was making fun of her homophobia, not mine. I said mine. That made it even funnier.
Oh, shoot.
The number of parties. My favorite thing about Hillsdale. Quick story about Hillsdale. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can get this banned.
Yeah.
I've been to parties at Hillsdale. Hillsdale is known as the most homophobic college in America.
Second to Wheaton.
Second to Wheaton?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're losing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wheaton, whatever.
Going downhill, dude.
We're the most homophobic.
Yeah.
But every time I went to parties with some of my friends who were women, I would go to these parties with them. And I would be the only guy, dozens of men, I'd be the only guy who liked girls there.
Yep.
So explain to me. The most homophobic college in America seems to be a magnet. Maybe we're not homophobic. Maybe people are just radicalized.
I think if
It's not.
it was
people
based
are
off
scared.
Of
It's based on
accepting-
fear.
It was.
Well,
It's based on-
always.
It was.
They
it was,
wouldn't go into the house with me. If they had come with me, they would have been like, wow, everyone here is really fun to be around. I'm going to be more chill and normal.
I think the
That's what I
statistics
did.
is based off of there not being a gay-straight alliance on campus. But
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
we have a pretty large
But
LGBTQ.
there was
representation.
a walking gay-straight alliance. Yeah. Wow, that one took. Sometimes you got to repeat the punchline for the crowd to get it.
Yeah.
But the key point there is in comedy, that has been my MO is finding people who everyone would be like, oh, you're not going to get along, and then we get along, and it's like screw you, like. I'm gonna get along with everyone because I don't really like
because getting along is now officially a game, right?
It is.
A part of your completionist streak is now getting along.
No, it is. I've always been that way though. I can't stand.
I will
that.
say
when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna create drama,"
Right.
it's like, okay,
we're talking about people who push people out for a better chance at success in comedy. We're talking about people, who push against somebody if they think that they're a threat within it.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think this is a short-term thing? Do you think in the long term you're going to be able to continually try to make friends everywhere you go, and that it's going to be working?
no.
Right?
But the way when we talk, like my comic friends are great. When we talk bad about someone, we never say like, oh, let me think of something. Like what's something mean you would say about someone that has nothing to do with the comedy? Like, oh, I think their opinions on food are stupid, so we're not going to book them. It's never that. It's like, hey, they're not killing.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it. I have a trunk.
Yeah.
I don't have a car. I'm going to end up doing a Tim Dillon bit with that, so I don't want to do that.
yeah.
But it is like you have to be sometimes you just have to be blunt.
Yeah.
And that's not mean. You still like the people, but if they're not working hard, then it's over. And that's the thing. And then it goes back to I did 100 sets in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And everyone acted like that was insane. And it's like if you lived in New York, that would have been pathetic.
Yeah.
So
It's a totally
not
different
insane.
ballgame there.
Yeah, it's not insane.
Yeah.
In fact,
you're just in Washington, D.C.
yeah, it's not that hard either to do that. Like it was hard from a financial perspective, maybe. But some of these people are also like contractors in DC. They could be doing this. They just go home to their girlfriend or whatever. No offense to the people that are taken. I'm a little salty though. Because it's like
you can't have him for himself, dude.
it's weird. It is weird. I think it's harder to be in a relationship where you live with the person and also do stand-up. I think it's really hard to come home late, which is why like I'm looking for like long distance because then they don't have to put up with that. Because they're just like, oh yeah, he's off doing his thing, whatever. He's an old man, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I think that does keep some people at home, and that's another thing. And it ticks me off when people are like, oh, you work so hard. It's like I'm trying, but there's a lot of nights I don't do enough. I skipped 4 sets last week that I could have done. I could have done 11 in like 4 or 5 days, and I was like, let's go, and I didn't do it. I only did 7.
Because you need to sleep.
No, it wasn't sleep.
Yeah.
It was simply I didn't sign up
Yeah.
or I didn't time things right. Because it's really a speed. It's like speed running.
Yeah.
That's what's really fun about it, Shad. There's the whale. Every night. No, I'm serious. Every night I speed run comedy. I
Yeah.
try to min max
So what do you
my
like?
time.
Are you taking like Ubers? You doing
Yeah.
the metro or what?
Ubers or I get rides.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing people don't think about is I'm getting around because I have friends that are taking me around.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same shows. So like if they're doing the same shows as me, they're also doing about as many sets as me. So again, I'm not that impressive. And like a lot of people are just missing out because like, I don't feel like doing it tonight.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out, an out-of-towner came through. He's a dry bar special. Let's flex for a bit. Dan Bublitz. Fantastic comic, fantastic hang.
Yeah.
Clean comic because a dry bar. He had to do clean for that.
Yeah.
Has a special out now. You should go watch it. Dan Bublitz, dry bar comedy. And he said, it's weird. I saw a lot of people at this first mic and they didn't go to the next one. I probably shouldn't have said Dan's name, but Dan made an observation. It's not critical.
Yeah.
But Dan just observed. He's like, I didn't see them at the second one. And I'm like, yeah I don't know. They might have gone to another one, but they might not have. And that's crazy to me that they did one mic. Because what I've noticed is if you do one mic and you bomb, then you spend the rest of your night thinking about that bomb. But if you bomb, crush, bomb, you're humble.
Yeah.
You also killed.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm good at this, and I just did bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like I was a wrestler. So like wrestling tournaments, you'd lose to a girl twice,
Yeah.
but you'd beat up some guy. And it's like, I lost to a girl twice.
So the problem with that story, you were talking about making fabrications for the sake of comedy, is that you never won a wrestling match in your whole damn life. So.
I once got up. I did a shitty Matthew McConaughey impression where I got up in front of my wrestling team. This was a JV team because like obviously I was not varsity, and I was like, I've lost more matches than some of you have wrestled. Yeah, and it was true. And they were all like, Yeah, you have. Yeah. You have. 14 years.
Yeah.
14 years and nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
No, it made me funny.
Yeah, no,
But,
I know exactly what you're talking about though when it comes to sort of the. I'm being.
I'm gonna get in so
Silly.
much trouble.
I'm saying this kind of silly. Well, maybe people will watch. You
that'd
got
be cool.
This will go around the DC circuit. They're all,
Yeah. If this gets me canceled, you guys make money off it. That's
Hey,
all
if
good.
you really want the dirt on Joe Pappalardo, if you've got a target on him,
Email
then
Shadrach
check out the
Strehle.
Patreon later because I'm sure it's going to get spicier. So
You should subscribe. I've thought about subscribing to your Patreon under other names to mess with you, and then I was like, that's a big flex.
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
That'd be fun. I wouldn't say no to it.
Brant Jew Cohen.
Brant Cohen, everybody, by the way, is in studio.
Yeah, Brant's in the studio. Brant's my college roommate. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Like Brant would be just a slur about himself. That doesn't make any sense. Who's this guy? But yeah, it's like it's weird that people will like. There's like a relativity thing that's going on. That's weird.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Oh, I was gonna let you say what you were about to say.
Oh, okay. So when I was doing professional speaking,
Professional
yeah.
speaking.
professional competitive stuff.
It is very much like that.
Yeah, you learn how to make things roll off you. You just have to. It's like in order for you to be competitive in something like that, especially when it comes to audience interaction or something in which you have to perform for a group of people, because like music is like this, but a little different.
Music people will clap at the end, and that doesn't mean you did well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and you can know that how the
Facts
audience
don't
is-
care about your feelings,
yeah.
dude.
Joe destroys music. Dean?
Yeah,
Joe
Dean
holds
is
Dean's
in
skull.
the-
Pounder's life.
Dean in the crosshairs for that joke he made on the show.
Yeah.
But you when you're playing music, you can look in the audience and you can see whether or not they're into it, and that's a totally different thing. But when I was doing competitive speech and debate, you have to interface with somebody, and it's usually just you in a room with one other person, which is a whole nother ball game. But you're by yourself for the rest of the time. I'm sure you're by yourself for the rest of the day, and you're just thinking and you're running it through, and you're just trying to figure it out and just getting ready for that next set.
Everyone's coming up to me and being like, man, great set.
Hey, great set. You guys, you want to smoke? We're all getting together in the van to smoke.
That's the worst. I'm straight edge, and like no one wants to hang out with that.
Yeah.
But I keep meeting straight edge comics though, so we're all cool.
That's cool.
And actually, everyone wants to hang out with me. It's okay. I'm a good hang.
Yeah.
I'm a good hang.
That's a good. That's a part
For
of it,
now.
man. It's the green room. It's half of what you do is in the green room.
I was gonna say, speaking performances, the audience interaction is like, oh wait, no, that's the punchline. Music performance is like a hookup, like they can fake it.
Yeah.
But speaking performance is like marriage. You know exactly what's going on. You know exactly how well it's going.
Yeah.
I'm not married, but I know this.
You know the deep lore.
Just, I think this is a good transition, right?
Yeah.
To
I'm thinking, we probably got 2 more hours if that's okay.
Yeah.
So first I want to throw out a thank you to our patrons.
Yeah, Joe Pappalardo among
Joe
them.
Pappalardo, Lieutenant. Other one in the top tier, Lieutenant tier, Mom and Dad. Thank you. Thanks for the.
Yeah, thank you. Our
You should
parents.
not. You should say their first names only, and then people won't know it's your mom.
That's
and dad.
true, and then we could say it's two separate lieutenant
Yeah,
patrons.
but they did.
What their patron signature is.
Also,
Mom and
I
Dad,
beat
yeah.
them to it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first patron was Josh, who didn't even bother doing it to get the exclusive content. He just put $1 in. But we take every dollar we can get.
Yeah.
That's one step closer to a studio.
Yeah.
But Joe was like, "We're coming in hot."
This
And then it was
microphone
Chris. And
is
then,
great kissing practice, by the way. It's just like,
eat the mic, dude. Eat the mic. That's what they say.
Yeah. All right. So we also have an AMA tier. You can ask questions. Only person who is currently.
I have questions.
There are 2 people in the AMA. You do have questions.
Yes.
He brought prepared questions. I got a lot of questions from Amber and Zach. So I wanted to
Dude,
ask.
Amber and Zach are really cool.
I wanted
they
to ask this one in particular because we were talking about this. Because Joe has made the very brave choice to be sober. How does he get the courage to do stand-up? And can you please encourage the hosts of this podcast to try sobriety for a season?
So here's what's going to happen when you get sober, the first time you get sober. I literally had nightmares where I drank. Like I would have nightmares of drinking beer and I would wake up and be like, oh, and it was horrible. Like it was, I think I told you about those when they started. Yeah. It was weird. It was like you have, if you have a bad breakup, you have dreams about your ex.
Yeah.
I was having dreams about my ex, but it was beer.
Yeah.
And but I think first of all, cutting back on the booze gives so much more time into your day, which is awesome. So I also don't think I'd be able to do stand up if I drank because I wouldn't know why I was in these bars. I would be confused every bar because if you do 3 spots in a night and you're hammered, and you're like me, I black out at like very very low alcohol. So. Not as low as some of my friends though. Let's correct record. I'm a bit of a middleweight, okay?
But I want to clarify
fearless.
the core of this question.
I'm
I
not.
think is how do you get the strength
Yeah.
or the courage? Because usually
Yeah.
a lot of comics don't do it
I love
unless they
this.
have 2 drinks in them before they go
Yeah.
out to do it. Right?
I got this. So, I worked at a summer camp for Boy Scouts. This is my origin story, I guess. 17 years old, didn't have a driver's license, and I taught kids how to work on cars.
Yeah.
17 years old, no driver's license. I'm teaching 12-year-olds how to work on cars.
Yeah.
If you didn't kill, they would destroy you.
Yeah.
Like you had to bring it. So if I didn't tell jokes that got these kids in, it was over.
Yeah.
And really quick, every day you're doing 6 classes a day, which means you're doing 6 sets a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Man, you are
For the
so
whole summer.
artistic, dude.
So what I'm saying is all these people are like, oh, how'd you get so good? It's like, just do it. Like I did it 6 sets a day,
Yeah.
5 days a week for the whole
it's
summer.
It's less about that though, and I think it's more about the overcoming social anxiety and actually doing it.
Well, yeah. But that's what forced me to because I was like very artistic back then. I was so artistic, I painted alone.
Yeah.
I would set up board games and play them
Yeah.
by myself.
A classic move.
We are the Solo Board Game Club, brought to you by
Yeah. Well, so
Hasbro.
we always had the advantage of having a twin, so it didn't matter. We didn't
we
have
could
to
be
play
artistic
ourselves.
No,
together.
this is how I know God is real. Is I had a neighbor who would come over every time I started doing that. Like
bail
it
you
was
out.
like the dog that grabs your arm when you're about to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It was like that. He would show up, and I was like, "Why is he in the house?" Oh, God's like, "Go outside."
He's
today."
like, somebody else wants to play Heroes.
So you go from playing Risk by yourself, Lord of the Rings Edition Deluxe.
Oh yeah.
Go
Classic.
from playing that
Classic.
by yourself
Yeah.
to suddenly you have 10, 12-year-olds, 15, 12-year-olds, 6 times a day, different group each time.
Yeah.
And you have to kill. And so I had to get over it because these kids were vicious. And it was awesome. I loved them. By the end, every week, I won the crowd over. And like they loved me. It was, and I'm not saying this because I'm bragging. I'm saying this because I looked up to a lot of people that worked at this camp.
Yeah.
And they all quit the year I started. So suddenly I was the funniest person at camp. And I hated that because everyone was like, oh, Joe, you're the best. It's like, I didn't come here for me. I came here for the people I looked up to. They're gone.
Yeah.
And I totally see that happening with comedy. And I hate that because I think if I stick around in comedy long enough, it's going to be the same way where people are going to be like, oh, you're, and I'm like, I wanted to hang out with so-and-so and they quit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I'm
They're
really
now
worried
selling rugs and
about. Yeah. So that's my main thing with comedy is I'm trying to make sure no one quits.
Yeah.
If people, there's a lot of people who are amazing that quit and never make it. And that's what's crazy about it is there's a lot of people we'll never meet. Like for instance, Gilbert Gottfried just died.
Yeah.
I don't
Rest
even
in
know if I
peace.
said his name right.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah, which that was this is we're recording this long after, or we're recording this long before this is going to be on the YouTube. But yes, Gilbert Gottfried died today.
Today, yeah. So day of this recording, he died, and a lot of people don't know who he is, and he's like
That's
considered
wild.
famous.
Yeah.
He's considered like top tier, and a lot of people don't know who he is. So
First 9/11 joke.
first 9/11 joke,
At least in a public sphere.
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by an aristocrats joke,
Yeah.
which is the
Super-
filthiest. You
yeah.
just try to be as filthy as possible. It's an amazing gymnastics. I don't think the thing it made me really think is I don't know if anyone in the modern comedy scene would even dare try the aristocrats joke. I don't think they'd even enjoy telling it. And there are people that would, but I'm saying a lot of the people that I'm competing
I
with,
think
it's
you
like,
need-
guys,
you need
let's
to
be real.
You need to have a certain mentality, 100%. You got to have a very particular mindset, and he had that mindset, right?
It's not
he wanted to push it as far as he could.
No, it's called being funny. People, if you're up on stage and your goal is to look hot
Yeah.
or be cool, if you use rap music with the lyrics in your promo videos, you're not funny. You're supposed to be clowns. This is a Dan Soder bit. He talks about this, how these hype videos for cool comedy. It's like, what? Like I make hype videos for comedy, and that's got me around, actually. That's another whale I have. I do video editing. And I use instrumentals, but I do not use hype music. It's always an instrumental that has some momentum.
Yeah.
Like Run the Jewels type thing. Recently I used another song that I don't want to get copyright claims. So
Yeah.
I already went too far. Run the Jewels gets robbed all the time. I know we can take
It's
it.
true.
But I use that because it shows people, oh, there's something going on. I should go watch.
Yeah.
These people that do the hype stuff, it's like, you're not in this to be funny. And that ticks me off. So
Well, yeah,
I don't know how I got
it's tough.
so derailed.
I mean, I think
drinking. We started drinking.
Yeah, we
All right,
did.
okay. Well, let's follow it up then. With
But yeah, the kids-
What
the
are we
kids
doing
were
on
vicious.
time, by the way?
13 minutes left.
13
13
minutes
minutes
left.
left.
Oh shoot.
The kids were vicious, and I got over that. And then now
Yeah.
stand-up isn't scary.
Okay.
Let me hit the other interesting question they sent us, which is, wow, isn't it crazy that both of our little brothers are hanging out and like best friends now? Is that kind of weird? They just met each other
Something's happening. now.
after
Yeah,
of nothing
We
in
gotta-
college.
We got to break that up.
Yeah, my Dom sent me a text message today of Silas wearing a cutoff. I don't know where he got it.
Did Silas look like he'd been paintballing on his neck?
No.
Is that inappropriate for the? Is that Patreon?
No.
You should just start saying Patreon. Patreon.
Over there. No, yeah, it's weird. It's surreal actually, because I really wanted them to become roommates at the start. Like I was like, oh, I hope God rolls the dice just right, and they end up there.
God doesn't roll the dice; he just decides how they roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Was
know.
that a
I mean, he likes to have
predestination joke?
fun.
Uh-oh. John. Hey, it's John Calvin.
Heard you were talking about dice.
It doesn't matter what you think God is.
So any dang way, yeah, they just found each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, now our little brothers are friends. It's crazy. I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean,
what's the
there's no
question?
joke here, but
What's
they just
the
wanted to know: do you approve of this? Is this
Yeah.
fine?
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
I love that my brother's doing everything I didn't do in college, and he's done everything that I did do in a year. It took me 4 years to do everything he's done.
Yeah.
And like, we're not going to go into details. That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
But he's really cool, and he's really well adjusted because he's the youngest of 5.
Yeah.
And so he got, Brant puts it really eloquently, that he's seen everyone else's mistakes, and he's chosen the middle.
Dom is by far the least crazy Pappalardo based on my interactions with the brothers.
Yeah,
So.
everyone in my family is overcompensating for something. I don't even know what mine is. I think it's someone was saying this, but I'm like Trump. There's no problem down there. That's actually the problem I have. The problem I have is that my body has not caught up to it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
it's
yeah.
very-
My body is telling
I have
me
body
yes.
dysmorphia, baby.
Yeah.
I look like Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Oh.
People are like, you look like a Holocaust victim. I'm like, I have shoulders. That's a good joke. It's also
One up
true.
on him. One up on him. All right, so you said you had questions, dude. You had questions.
This feels so good
You
for
are,
us.
as a patron, you are entitled to ask them.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. It's a bing bang boom.
Dance monkey
It's
dance.
going to be question A, then question B, all right?
Okay,
question
cool.
A. Shad, what was the worst part about living with me?
Worst part about living with you is the fact you had no sense of smell. So if there was say something in the trash can that needed to be taken out and I was at work all day, then I would come home and that smell would be all over. So I don't know if you got your smell back yet, but Joe would cook chicken, leave it in our lidless trash can, and then 2 days later I'd be like, "What's that? What's going on?" And he's like, "I have no idea what's going on." So that's the worst part. Okay. B.
So, ladies, if you like waking up to the smell of microwave salmon,
You know who to call. Just call this number.
Yeah, garlic onion bo. Look, we just walked the studio. They're like, we're out. Everyone,
Yeah.
you can't see this, but everyone walked out.
Yeah.
They're staging a walkout.
Where are they going?
They're going out. They're going up to Spotify. They're like, please take them off. Take Joe off the Patreon
We're
now.
gonna get that COVID.
He's got a phone call. Okay,
misinformation
question B.
symbol. Yeah.
Question B. Now
Yeah.
I gave it away, but it was gonna be really funny.
Yeah.
But Dylan, what's the worst part about living with Shad?
The worst part of living with Shad? Ooh, okay.
So you weren't ready.
Yeah,
You were very
there's
ready.
quite a bit. So
Whoa.
here's how I'll distill it. Right.
Okay.
When you live with somebody for so long, no matter your relationship to them, you start to argue like an old married couple. Right?
Yeah.
And it starts to become, what is not said and the passive aggressive moves that happen in between. Right. Because you've moved past the point of having direct conversation and now just assume everything about what the other person is doing. So oftentimes, who would do the laundry was like 4D chess, right?
I did my own laundry.
No,
You did yours.
Remember initially we were both doing it at the same time together. Yes, 100%.
Don't remember that.
I remember it.
Fake news.
No, it happened. Here's how it goes. I put the
Beep that out, dude.
I put things in the laundry.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it would get a little bit almost to the very top, and I would do just enough that I knew if he put anything in there, he would feel like he has to do it.
Yeah.
And then he would do that back to me. And we would just play chicken with each
You,
other.
no,
until
you're
somebody
not playing
did it.
chicken. You're playing Jenga.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say that. But yeah, that kind of argumentation where it felt like I was in a freaking Death Note style war of wits with my opponent over trivial stuff. That's it. So I just popped off for no reason. But
Yeah.
that's
The worst part about living with Dylan is his voice. That's all. So, Joe, you want to plug whatever you got going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Ladies
so
and
much
gentlemen,
fun.
turn those lights down low. We're
It's
gonna
time for
we're
the
gonna do the remix.
I love the best thing about Shad and Dylan is they're like dolls. You can squeeze a button and they'll start doing the lyrics to a Lonely Island song verbatim, and you can get it immediately.
I don't know if I can count that as a compliment
Yeah,
or.
Your mom says hi.
Oh goodness.
Thursday, April 21st. I have my first. Is that going to be too soon?
I think it might just make it.
April 20. Well, I'll brag about it anyway. My first
yeah.
show ever that I'm co-producing with Matt Strzanowski, who's a great little Polish boy. He's not little. He's huge. He makes me look small.
Nice.
A lot of men do though. Shad does too.
Yeah. Well,
Dylan, not so much. Sorry.
we're pretty similar.
You're
in that
both tall.
regard. Yeah, but
Don't worry. I'm having so much fun. April 21st, Thursday. Choir Boy Comedy is at Johnny Pistola's and Adams Morgan of DC. That's going to be a 10 p.m. show.
Nice.
Showcase at 10. And then there's open mic slots as well that we'll pull from a bucket. So if you show up and sign up, we can pull you out of a bucket. The goal of this show, and this is what I'm trying to do with DC Comedy,
Yeah.
is experienced comics can drop into this show 10 p.m. on a Thursday. Think about that. Okay, there's no other 10 p.m. comedy shows.
Yeah.
Not even the Improv does 10 p.m. comedy shows, which means improv comedians may come through my show because it's the
Yeah.
only stage. And I want them to meet my open mic friends. I
Yeah.
want my open mic friends to collaborate. And because there's actually a silo. There's an invisible wall between the good comics and the new comics. And it's just that's just the way it shook out. So we're trying to bridge that.
Nice.
And some veteran comics are helping us with this. So it's not like there's no war. Like, we're just trying to make everyone
No brother wars.
It's like a mentorship program, sort of, which is cool. So hopefully that's what it becomes. And then Fridays.
Is that the joke with choir boys then?
I did not think of it. No, Choir Boy honestly was like, what is catchy that can work? Also, there's a show called Crybaby, and we like the CB thing. We like the association. Yes, Mike, we're taking your show name. Mike's a really cool guy. Mike Kurtz runs Crybaby in DC. It's a New York show that he started up in DC as well. They're good. They let me perform once, which is cool.
That's cool.
That's fun.
So,
He's
Friday.
like a dog salivating over here.
Friday, April 22nd, I'm doing Jokes Up in Smoke. That's my first showcase ever that I'm like performing on with Winston Hodges.
Nice.
Justo, who was Comedian of the Year in Baltimore. Now I'm just flexing. And then Joe Marshall, who's fantastic. And my buddy...
Is this the 420 show?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
buddy Randy Staples is the main guy running it. And then he's kind of made me like I don't know if I'm like a co-host, co-producer. Like I haven't helped enough.
Yeah.
But he's been really generous with like putting me on there. And that's going to be a show where like we smoke. I don't smoke, so it's going to be weird because everyone else is going to be stoned out of their mind and they're going to try to do stand-up. And I'm just there. And then Saturday, April 23rd, is the first monumental comedy showcase in downtown DC at the Astro Beer Hall. I am also a co-producer on that. It's going to be a 9 p.m. showcase and then 10 p.m. open mic, sign up on the spot. So like anyone can come through. I think everyone's going to come through that one as well. So what I've basically told you is, I'm a new comic, okay? I'm not that good. But I'm not trying to stop anyone from getting on stage, which means that I'm going to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay? So maybe stop not letting people on your stage and we won't have a problem. Anyway, I can't wait. A year from now, let's do like, how about in a year, I come back on this and we do like a check-in. I won't bang on the table as much. And I either tell you...
You cannot promise that. I guarantee you will.
I either tell you how much I get chewed out for this, or we get to just chew out everyone. It can be an iTunes.
Well, hopefully we can have you on again before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always happy to
But
have you on.
always happy to have
Whenever
Joe
you blow
Pappalardo
through
on.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slash
town.
Slash if you already building a crutch on our podcast. This guy joke doesn't have to hit, he just has to touch his face.
Not even confident in the joke enough.
Not even confident enough in the joke. It's like guys who had their sets at a joke would be like ba 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 ba, or like
No.
Yeah.
The goal is to use as few words as possible. So like you can just look at your wife and be like, listen, I was out late last night, but it's okay. Dinner is on me.
Oh man, dude!
He did it again.
He did it again. I call you out for it. You do it again.
I can't believe this is gonna be on the internet.
Not only is it going to be on the internet, but hopefully a lot of people see it.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully. We'll see.
yeah.
Well, I think that's we're about to ready to wrap up. We're good on time. Thank you all for listening. I'm glad that we got to have Joe plug some stuff. We have nothing to plug. Please, if you really like this stuff, donate to the Patreon because we like to be in a studio space, this really helps. Thank you.
You can follow me at Pappalardo Funny. I forgot about that, but
I'm just going to cut it before that.
Nobody cares, Joe.
I
good.
absolutely refuse to let you use this as a platform.
Hi, Mom.